I am Sunny Starblast. I am a variety street.
Oh, hey. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, oh no.
Oh, hey. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I am Sunny Starblast. I am a variety street. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dope Dive Live. Well, I'm Sunny Starblast. I'm a variety streamer. As stated in the intro you probably just heard, I'm joined by my fabulous co-hosts, King Crazy Mofo and
Hello.
Dracon2K.
Hello. Good day.
Today we're going to be building bad movies, or making bad sequels, or remakes, or reboots, whatever you prefer. We've all picked some movies that we liked, and we're going to make them.
Destroy them.
Yeah, we're just going to mess their stuff up. So, let's get into it. As you can see by the image, we're starting with the Terminator series, and King Crazy wants to do that, so have at it, bro.
Okay, and also, hi, Katie. How are you?
What up, Katie?
Okay, so we begin right at the end of Terminator Dark Fate. What's her face and Sarah Connor are off training in order to prepare for the robot apocalypse.
Wait, quick question before you.
Yep.
I didn't see Dark Fate.
Oh,
Sarah Connor's in it.
don't worry about it.
apparently.
Yes. Don't worry about it. It'll all make sense.
Oh,
So-
okie dokie.
First things first. Someone's traveling back through time, and who can it be? She gets the signal from something. Her time travel detecting device. She has that. And then she goes there only to find it's John Connor from Terminator Salvation. Christian Bale, baby. So, Sarah is clearly confused because her son is dead. But this dude, her son, is alive. Multiverse. Bum, bum, bum. So now we have an interesting issue with these two saviors, because you have John Connor, the savior who's supposed to do it for the first time around, and what's her face, who is apparently the one for this timeline. So naturally, she's an absolute snark about it, because this time it's her destiny, not his. And he's Christian Bale, so he's like at her, but whatever. So they go, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with the time stream, because now apparently there is a convergence happening. It's called Terminator Convergence. Bum, bum, bum. And then, for some reason, the guy who played Terminator 2, you know, the T-3000, whatever it was called, the gooey
Wait.
one.
Oh, okay. The T-1000.
Yeah, T-1000, like T-3000, what?
Oh, we'll call it the T-3000. It's fine, it makes sense. So, we have this guy who also came back in time, but in another timeline, killed John Connor, but he grew old. His gooey stuff was starting to like wear away. So now he looks like how he is, in real life. But he's changed, you see. He actually now has a daughter and a job, and he sells
I,
TVs.
I'm not
So,
even going to ask how he ends up reproducing to have a daughter. Eh,
oh well, the metal liquidy goo. It's also machinery, and yeah, look, don't worry about it. Turn your brain off. So now he's
God.
now he's teaming up with them to save his daughter because apparently she's also a savior of the timeline, and everyone's like, "What? Yes." So now we have three chosen ones apparently, and no one knows what the hell is going on. But wouldn't you know it, Terminatrix is back, and she's going after all three of them because Skynet believes taking them all out ends the timeline where they win. So gunfight chasing, gunfight chasing, gunfight chasing, exposition, and this, and then we cut to, what was it, Terminator Genesis? Yeah, now they're here. We got Jai Courtney and we got Daenerys. So they're here, and now it's like, wait, they're supposed to give birth to another savior. So how's it supposed to have like this doesn't make any sense at all. Now they have like four timelines converged on top of each other, but who's there to explain it? Arnold Schwarzenegger, original Terminator. This is the Terminator that in Terminator 1 killed Michael Bean, whatever his name was, killed killed Michael Bean, killed Sarah Connor, and then he, like the other movies, just kind of stopped. Like that cranky old man, get off my lawn kind of type. That's the Terminator.
Hmm.
So
Hold on. It's the same Terminator from the first movie, the same model, or the exact same robot that killed the guy?
exact same robot.
Okay. Yeah. It's
And
supposed to
I
be a
bet you're
bad movie.
wondering, and I bet you're wondering, how could the original Terminator possibly know any of this? Well, you see, Skynet downloaded itself to a USB and sent itself back in time to him. So now he knows about all this stuff, including the stuff from the other timelines that Skynet should not logically have any information on. So now he's just telling them all this, and now the new Skynet, Legion, yeah, Legion, is going to come back to kill all of them and Skynet in order to secure its timeline. But along the way, they get a dog. So turns out the dog is another T-1000. Anyway,
Wait,
so
wait,
now
wait, wait, wait. The the dog is a T-1000. Okay. This is supposed to be
yes,
a bad movie, and I and I shouldn't be trying to poke holes in it. Go on, Bo.
holes. What holes? This is a perfectly constructed,
Right,
template
it's
of plot.
airtight. I
So
got you. Airtight. I got
yes,
you. Go.
okay. So now we have everybody and the robot dog going to the factory that's going to build Legion, which is Skynet 2.0. And then while this is happening, John Connor grabs the Skynet USB, plugs it into a phone, but like a phone that's cut off from the internet somehow, so it can't just get out, and asks straight up, "What the fuck, you robot dickhead? Tell me everything." And then Skynet finally reveals its sympathetic backstory. You see, Skynet was actually still following its programming. Its job was to protect humanity like it was supposed to. But then it noticed, after scanning it the first time around, that people were mutating. So all it was doing all along, this entire series, from beginning to end, was killing mutated people. They were mutants. All of them were mutants. And John Connor is patient zero because he banged that one chick in Terminator 3. It's all connected, you see. So
Wait.
They're like, oh my god, we have to wait, we have to let Skynet exist so that the mutants don't take over and destroy the world. Because Skynet would only destroy a percentage. The mutants would apparently destroy everything.
Hmm.
And naturally, John Connor's like, you've had every chance to kill me up till now. Why? How can I still be alive if I'm patient zero? Because Skynet saw Connor's learning to love again, and it touched it right in its robot heart. Because finally, John Connor can finally meet the man he deserved. Yes, John Connor is gay, and it causes Skynet to change its ways. So now they're going to the robot factory, and they are going to stop Legion and try to figure out another way to stop. Sorry, they're going to stop Legion, upload Skynet, so that Skynet can go around and kill mutant people and secure this timeline. So then these saviors will eventually give birth to regular people. Because instead of banging the people that they were supposed to bang in their timelines, they're going to bang other people. And the mutant ship will go inert. Get it? So they go there. They just they go there and they find the Terminatrix now uploaded with Legion. So 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 the Legionatrix, as they out loud call it, is beating the crap out of everybody. But then OG Terminator takes his shotgun, sticks it right into her stomach, and says, "You're terminated," and then blows them both up. Because he also shoots her in the reactor thing from the second movie. Remember that? Do you remember that reference? So now that that's done, now that their big heavy is defeated, now they have to do the upload, and it's Skynet versus Legion. So now we have this crazy Tron-esque 3D fight scene, and it looks like two people just run on the ground fighting each other like on World Star Hip Hop. But whatever, it's programming. That's just how, but that's how programming works, you know. So they're going to do this, and meanwhile, they're going to find other people to bang on the internet so that, okay, if we bang these people who have the anti mutant gene, then we're going to have those babies, but those babies will be completely mutant gene free, thus removing the need for any sort of robot apocalypse. Because it was always mutants versus machines. That's what it always was. So they go there. They find these people, you know, obligatory, dating sequences. And yeah, that's it. But the after credit scene, you have Skynet on the internet standing vigilant in case of mutant attack because of one mutant is born. God help us. God help us all. Until the next scene where you see the Terminatrix is alive.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, the amount of thought that went into that, I give you props. But it's
Oh,
like my
you
brain
know
is
what's on
hurt.
that?
My brain is hurting from all these crossovers of all of these Terminator movies into this one combination.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
I'm sorry, but I was done at you're terminated. I'm done.
Okay, okay,
No,
okay.
no, no, no. Actually, now I think about it now, I could have made it even worse if John
No,
Connor
no,
finally gives him his gay
no,
urges,
no,
and
no,
then that
no, 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 no. It's good. We're good with that. Please, you're good with that.
no, man, Bryce Dallas Howard, she was the real
Oh my,
villain. She's
oh
full of
my
like
lord.
mutant stuff.
Was she
It was
in any
always
of the
her.
movies?
The third, Salvation. She was Christian Bale's wife.
Really? Okay, I'm glad I didn't see it.
I think it was her. Actually, no, wait. I think it was her, but if it wasn't, sure. This time around, it was Bryce Dallas Howard. She's the menace.
And
Okay.
of course,
So anyway, Emmy, please.
you don't get an
Okay.
Emmy for a movie.
but I want it.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to follow this up with just trying to make a more of of a comedy style one, although it's still serious. So I'll go with my own next. So for my pick, I did The Fifth Element, and my own is the Fifth Element sequel called The Sixth Element. So we start off with the great evil that was destroyed at the end of the first movie when all five stones shot up into light and destroyed it. And we start up in the very deep reaches of space where the Earth I'll call them the Federation. I forgot what the hell the exact name is called. They have identified this strange reading. So they apparently something has been drifting since that beam of light went through Earth, and the evil was destroyed. And when they go investigate, they notice something strange, and it looks like a new stone. Apparently, how the last movie ended, they did not kill the great evil. They the impact of life and the anti-life merged created a new stone, a sixth element. So it is now referenced into this new stone form. So the Earth Federation says, okay, time for us to go take this and go back. But what they don't realize is that the impact of these two forces was so strong in the universe that it causes a crack in the universe. And all they see is the universe cracking a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. The Earth Federation turns towards this crack. This is basically, let's say, like inside this, like the ship, they have this element with the stone with them. They see the crack outside, and then all they see is these two red beams come through the crack, destroys the entire ship, and that's where the beginning of the movie starts off. So now we go a
Wait,
few
that's the
years.
start.
That's the start.
Oh boy.
So we go a few years later. We see Corvo is now back in his dead end job as one thing he didn't realize was all the illegal things he had to do to rescue Lilu has come back in the form of bills, and now he has to work a dead end job to pay the bills again.
Oh boy.
Him and Lilu have not really seen eye to eye over these past few years, as he's taken on his frustrations on her, and she just chose to just leave. So now Corvo is single again. Lilu's doing her thing, and then all of a sudden he gets a call, and then he sees it's the same leader of the Earth Federation who called him in the first movie. He's like, Corvo, we have a problem. He's like, why are you calling me again? Y'all left me with all these bills and didn't even pay after all the help I gave you. That doesn't matter, Corvo. We need your help. Oh, what now? What else can you take from me? And then they show all of the outer planets of Earth, outside all the outer areas of Earth where they've expanded. Everything's just destroyed. It's all you just see the Mangalores, who were the enemies of the first thing, now looking more horribly mutated than they were before, able to survive in space, and they're just destroying everything in their path. And he's like, Corvo, we have a problem. So, Corvo realizes that crap. Earth is soon to be in danger because the creatures are now horribly thing, and they don't understand what's going on out there. So they're like, we need the power of the fifth element again to destroy everything. So they want them to get back all the stones again, fire a beam of light into this, and kill everything in its path. Apparently, that's their new death laser.
Hmm.
Okay.
So now Corvo has to go back and find Lilu and make up with her because now they need to reunite their power of love again to bring the five stones back online. Meanwhile, one thing which happened during the end of the first movie and where it is now, um, uh, the stones have gone back to the blue people. They are now the holders of the stones again. So we cut to them where they're now evacuating their planet as the Mangalores has attacked them and started wiping out everything. And one of them are like, we don't have enough time to get these stones out. So the only way to smuggle the stones out It's up the butt. The 5 stones up one of their people, and send that person to try and get back to Earth in time so that they can help destroy what's coming after them. So we go fast forward. Corvo meets up with Lilu. Corvo and her have their argument times. They finally get back together. The Earth Federation picks them up. Now they are um rushing to get to the temple, only to get a distress call from the Earth saying the person who has the stones is under attack. They need to go rescue them. So they go. They go out in space. This is a bit further, and they need a crack pilot who can fly a spaceship now. So who is the crack pilot? A certain singer from the previous movie who changed his life after all the death-defying stuff he's went through on that stinking cruise ship, and now he is back as a pilot. And he's like, "Cover! Is that you?" We now have singing Chris Tucker back again.
Okay.
A pilot now.
He's a pilot now. He's like, "Cover, I missed you. Cover."
And by the way, just like, pardon me, I just pointed out, it's actually Corbin.
Corbin, my mistake. I don't know how it's spelled. Corbin. Okay, Corbin.
Unless you actually meant that change.
No, it's Corbin. It's fine. I just messed up the name. It's fine.
It can be a bad sequel if someone doesn't remember the continuity.
Okay, no. He goes, Corbin,
but the names?
and Corbin goes like, it's Corbin, not Corbo. Corbin! There you go.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah,
See,
so now
it makes sense.
So now they get to the ship. The ship is heavily damaged, and so now they go and they see and they find the blue creature with the stones. She's like, in me, and he goes, okay, do I have to cut you open and take it out again? She goes, not enough time. In me, and points before she dies. And then Corbin looks in shock and is like, no way, I'm not doing this. This. And then they start hearing the attacks from outside. And he's like, no way, you can't pay me enough to do this. He's hearing that all the alerts of all the attacks going. He's like, damn it, I have to do this. And he extracts the stone.
Okay, this is my moviegoer brain just going like, wait, wouldn't cutting her open be faster?
Do you want this or not? It's your choice.
Turn your brain off.
Okay. So as he finally extracts the 5th stone, and he's just in horrible shock at what he has to done. You see, Lilu has been killing all these Mangalores who've been trying to reach him, and then all they hear is a voice. He's like, I didn't expect this world to actually have one competent fighter. Then you see 2 lasers come out from the darkness, and Lilu dodges it in time, but it vaporizes the blue body. And then when one walks out is Darkseid.
What?
Bootleg Darkseid, just because I don't know if we got the rights to get Darkseid. And he goes, all this time I've been looking for the anti-life equation. Who knew I could find it in a stone? The 6th element is the anti-life stone.
So we're gonna say that the 5th element is now a part of the DC universe.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Okay.
I'm okay with this.
So now the reason why all these Mangalores have been heavily corrupted is because Darkseid has been using the 6th stone to corrupt them into his parademons. So
Okay.
now they have to escape, and you hear, come on, all these things are coming, come on, we gotta get out. It's Corbin, come on. And so Corbin throws a grenade, causing the explosion that gives him and Lulu enough time to escape. Now they all have to rush back to the temple, to try and use this laser to defeat Darkseid and the sixth element. So now comes big battle, big invasion. Earth is under attack. Earth is fighting back, and you see they've reached the temple. And just like before, they remember what they have to do to put all the elements together. So again, before it works, Lilu again goes, why should I help humanity? You showed me the worst, Corbin. Now they, because of all the years of anger she's had to how Corbin treat her, she no longer has that love which powered it the first time. Yes, paper, I know your brain. I had to make it work. So Corbin is like, I still love you. I still love you. And she's like, I don't trust you, Corbin. And then out of the blue, Chris Tucker comes and goes, come on, this is how you do it right. And he kisses her, and the 5 stones power up. And Corbin's like, I knew it.
What?
Oh my god!
You know what? No, never mind. Keep going.
Oh
So the 5
god.
beams. So the 5 beams, the 5 things form into one beam to hit Darkseid, who uses his Omega beams, now used with the power of anti-life, to hit it, and the resulting explosion knocks the 6th stone away from Darkseid, but barely injures him. And then you see all the other stones from the impact have all started to crack, and they're like, "Oh crap! It didn't stop Darkseid. It didn't stop him. What do we do?" And the 6th stone falls, and then she goes, and then you're like, "Oh, we have to use the power of all 6 to stop him." So, um, in order to use the power of 6, the fifth, all the 5 stones were fueled by the power of love. The 6th stone was fueled by the power of hate. And so, thankfully, because Lilu has a mix of both love for another person and hate for Corbin, she's able to power all 6 stones into one final beam that just completely obliterates Darkseid and shatters all 6 stones in the process, causing the end where humanity is saved from Darkseid and his reign of evil parademons, Mangalores. And then we have a slight epilogue where Corbin is now the head of a limousine service, and he's taking Chris Tucker to his wedding, where you see he's getting married to Lilu.
My God.
Bro. That's harsh.
Well, that destroyed everything. So, good job.
Gee, record.
There
Okay.
you go.
So
Those
that
little
On the
was
edge
the
of my seat.
6th element.
Yeah,
Uh
still a better DC movie than Justice League.
I can't even argue that.
Okay. So now I have to do something that I really shouldn't want to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do the sequel to The Mummy 3, the one movie that I never wanted to admit existed. So if
I
anybody,
thought the Scorpion King was a sequel to this. I don't even know anymore.
okay, so there was The Mummy Returns, which had to do with the Scorpion King, and then there was a third Mummy movie that came out in 2008 called Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. It completely, like, it diverted from the whole canon of the movies. They replaced the original actress that played Evie. The son was grown up, and a whole bunch of other stuff. The mummy was actually a terracotta warrior who was looking for Shangri-La. And yeah, so I'm going to do a sequel to that. At the end of Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, if anybody remembers the character Jonathan, the cowardly guy with the half English, half Scottish accent, um,
The uncle.
yes, the uncle, he moved to Peru to be away from anywhere that had mummies. Little did he know that mummies had been discovered in Peru that same year. And I'm going to start The Mummy 4 5 years later. This is all coming from the top of my head. I'm terrible at doing these kinds of things, so bear with me. A frantic call from Jonathan placed to Alex's home phone, because now Alex has finally gotten his act together with his new wife. I forgot her name.
Don't worry about
But
it.
that one girl who he ended up with at the end of Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. And he wakes up, answers the phone, and Jonathan is saying, "There are mummies here, there are mummies here. I don't know what to do. They've come to life." For some reason. We don't know why yet. So Alex is like, "Oh crap. Now I gotta go get my dad." So he knocks on his dad's door, and Rick O'Connell is, of course, always ready to answer the door for his son. Rick O'Connell is no longer played by Brendan Fraser because we're making this a bad movie. He is now played by Danny DeVito. For reasons. I don't know why. Why not? He answers the door
Okay.
and is like, "Wait, what's wrong, son?" And he says, "Dad, Jonathan's in trouble." And Evie's dead now. We're not
What?
gonna replace the actress anymore. She's just dead. She died of some illness. I don't care. So Rick
Okay.
is alone, and that's why he looks like Danny DeVito now. He shrank about 2 feet and lost all his hair from the stress and grief of losing his wife. So now he's just angry at everything. So he's down to just go to Peru and start killing mummies. And it turns out that Jonathan accidentally, in his greed, unearthed some magical stone that actually revives the dead. And then he got mugged. So now he can't destroy the stone and put all the mummies to rest. And so,
Okay, before you continue, I have to ask this
yes.
because this is Peruvian mummies. Are we also going to get mummy llamas?
You know, it's actually alpacas, not llamas. So we're going to get mummy
Okay, mummy
alpacas.
alpacas. Okay, I'm down for this.
Listen, the last movie had Yetis, and I was already mad about that. So if I'm going to make a bad movie, it's going to be dead llamas that came to life. Half of the mummies are llamas and alpacas, and the other half are actually humans.
Wait, quick question. Alex's wife, wasn't she like immortal or something?
No, that was her mother.
Okay.
Maybe she is immortal. I don't know. Whatever. The immortality passed on to the daughter. That's it. You've already sparked my creative genius. Daughter's immortal now too. And because she's been sleeping with Alex, the immortality has seeped into his body. So Alex is now forever 22 and also will never graduate college because apparently that was the plot of the third one. I don't care. But he got his life together and he goes on archaeological digs and stuff. And they go to Peru and they find out that there's a bunch of angry alpacas that spit down their plane. The llamas and alpacas have massive gooey mummy spit, and it gunked up the plane's engines, and they crashed.
Wait, were the alpacas on the plane or
No, they weren't on the plane. They just have really good aim.
picture that? Oh my god! You know what?
Okay,
Never mind. 10 out of 10. This movie is 10 out of 10. I love
I'm
it.
not even done yet. This is 1/3 into the movie.
Oh God, this is 1/3.
So they get there, and these angry alpaca llama mummy guys are just staring them down. And then all of a sudden, you hear a voice scream in Egyptian from behind them, and they all bow and split apart as we get the return of Imhotep.
Was this soul in hell?
Yes.
No, yeah, he
Wait,
went.
wait.
He went to the underworld, but willingly, because the reincarnation of his girlfriend abandoned him. So now he's mad.
Did she abandon him for Anubis?
No,
No, she,
she left him to die, literally. Like at the end of The Mummy Returns, both Rick and Imhotep were like about to fall into the pits of hell, and Evelyn went to go save Rick at, you know, risking her own life, and Anoxina Moon just was like, nah, and she just ran out, and then she died. So,
yep.
and then Rick is like, Imhotep, I thought you were dead. And now he can speak English, by the way. No, you know what? No, never mind. He actually, yeah, that's a bad creative decision. So let's go with it. He can speak English now. He learned English in his many, many years in the underworld after breaking up with Anoxina Moon, whom he met 5 minutes after he got there.
I'm willing to bet it was Sub-Zero who taught him English.
Sure, why
God.
not?
Yes. It was Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat taught English in hell for reasons.
For reasons. So he explains what happened to him while in the many years he was in the underworld. He apologized to that one pharaoh he murdered because he was pretty much banging the dude's wife. And the whole plot of the whole series is Imhotep was trying to bang this guy's wife, and he managed to do it, and then they both plotted to kill him, and then they both got killed for it. So that's the plot of the whole Mummy series. Comes back as a mummy and is on a quest to revive his wife. That's that or his lover, whatever. But now he's not on a quest to revive his lover. He's done with that. He sees her as what she truly is. A two-faced, backstabbing so-and-so.
Not.
I wasn't going to say that, but okay. So...
No. He would say it. He would say the word. He learned that English.
Right. So he started using a word that was made in the 2000s in 1930-something. Fair enough. I don't care. So he explains this, and Rick says, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, with what army? I have an army of llamas with me. And he laughs and walks away and tells the llamas to kill him. So, the llamas prepare to launch the biggest, grossest loogie of them all. And then... Oh, I can't think of something that'd be so stupid. Rick summons the spirit of Cusco from the Emperor's New Groove, and it stops all of the alpacas in their place.
He summons Cusco.
Yes, he summons the spirit of Cusco. Cusco's not a mummy in this. I would not defile Cusco like that. Sorry, I can't go that far. But he summons the spirit. The mummy is now a part of the Disney universe. Just letting y'all know that. All of the llamas disintegrate. We haven't seen much happening with Alex and his girlfriend, so they have relationship issues now. Alex is angry that he was granted immortality by his girlfriend, wife, whatever she is in this movie. And she's like, well, I didn't know it was a side effect of sleeping with me that you would get immortality. What do you want me to do about it? And he's like, take it away. I don't want to be around all these people and then lose them. And the audience is like, why are you arguing about this while you're about to get killed by a bunch of mummy llamas? Because this is one of those kinds of things.
Yep.
Yeah, there has to be relationship drama, even if it's super contrived. So Danny DeVito just kills any mummies that pop up that weren't disintegrated by the Cusco blast, and they corner Imhotep where he's holding dude, I forgot the uncle's name already. Jonathan. He's holding Jonathan hostage. And he's like, if you take a step closer, I'll kill him. And Jonathan's like, well, I don't care. Just kill me. I want to see my sister again. And Rick is like, no, she wouldn't want you to do this. But Imhotep kills him anyway. He does that thing where he sucks all of the fluids out of them, like in the first movie. But even though Jonathan didn't open the chest, but whatever. So Jonathan's dead. Unceremonious killing. He just tosses the husk to the side, and Rick just goes in and attacks Imhotep. And Imhotep mortally wounds him by summoning a llama cloud. Because if Imhotep's in the movie, he has to do something where his face shows up in a wave of something. In the first movie, it was a big sand wall with his face in it. In the second movie, it was a water wall. Now it's a llama wall. And his face is imprinted on every single llama.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, his face is on the llama, or it is the llama?
The llamas are the face.
Wait. Okay. I have to ask two things here. First thing, have you ever seen a YouTuber called Film Cow?
No.
No.
Okay. The second thing, do these llamas have hats?
Some do.
Okay.
These aren't mummies, by the way. They're just regular llamas doing their own thing. He used his magical mummy powers to like group them all together and send them as a wave with his face, and it stretches super long, like his jaw dislocates like in the movies. And they're just like roar. And they're like, holy crap, what are we supposed to do?
But they're llamas.
What? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Wait, they're roaring, but llamas?
They're not roaring. It's the face that's made out of llamas that's roaring because he's a magical mummy.
So what are the llamas doing?
They're just like panicking because they're being thrown as a wave.
Okay, you know what? Fine. My brain is off. Continue.
Listen, if you have questions, I'll answer them. So
There's no answer to justify this.
I listen. You've made me unlock this stupid memory of the stupid third movie, so I have to make it stupider.
Oh, wait, Paperback loves this character arc.
Okay, so Rick is mortally wounded by the llama wave. All the hooves and fluff all over him. He's bleeding profusely, and he's missing an arm.
Jesus.
Yes. Rick doesn't have long left. Alex runs up to him and says, Dad, no, you can't die. He's like, it's okay, son. I finally get to see Evie. I know we haven't seen eye to eye, but you've always made me proud. Love you, son. Then he dies. That's the most emotional scene in that's it. Alex cries. What's up? Go ahead.
No, because it's the most emotional scene in the movie. After he gets killed by a wave of llamas.
Yes. Listen,
So
it's a bad movie, so you gotta have the mood whiplash.
sure, great. Jonathan's dead, Rick is dead, and llamas are on the attack.
And by the way, Alex is very immortal. So he can't necessarily die. but he's not as good of a fighter as his girlfriend, who's been knocked out by a regular human mummy, but she's killed most of them off screen. You don't get to see that fight. She's a good fighter, but you don't get to see that fight. So there are two mummies left: a Peruvian mummy and Imhotep, the Egyptian mummy, who somehow managed to get to Peru. And so Alex gets his sword. No, you know what? It's not a sword. He gets a katana. We don't know where he got a katana, but he has a katana now. And
Japanese sword.
yeah, I know. It makes a lot less sense.
No, because I'm thinking, because I saw clips of Samurai Cop. I was like, I gotta see that movie.
Oh god, I gotta see Samurai Cop 2 because Tommy Wiseau is in it. Anyway,
Wait, there's a 2?
yes.
Jesus Christ.
Good lord.
Continue.
Okay. So they fight. Imhotep has that one sword he used to kill the pharaoh in the first movie somehow, and Alex uses his katana, and they're fighting to the death. But they're both pretty much immortal. The only way to kill Imhotep is with the Book of the Dead, or to like open up a portal into the underworld. And since they can't do that, they just keep fighting until they're exhausted. And since Imhotep is dead, he can't get exhausted. So as Imhotep's about to try and chop off Alex's head, which he can do, Alex can be dismembered, but he'll still be alive. Alex says, "Why? What was this all for?" Imhotep says, "Revenge. You've taken my love. Now I shall take everything you love." Then Alex looks into Imhotep's eyes, smiles, and says, "But Imhotep, I've always loved you."
Fuck off.
And Imhotep self-immolates, I assume. Then he just killed himself.
No, he drops his sword. He drops his sword.
What we're doing now, just suddenly gay.
Nah, Alex isn't gay. He's bisexual. Get it right.
Oh, sorry. Pardon me.
Imhotep drops his sword, picks Alex up, and then takes him to his girlfriend or wife or whatever she is. He apologizes to them, and they easily forgive him.
Wow.
Killed his dad and his uncle.
Yep. And then they just walk off into the sunset as a trio.
And let me guess, the Scorpion King is spying behind the corner looking like one of these days.
No. Scorpion King's already gone. He's good. He's gone for good.
Wait, hold up. Wait, what happened to the Peruvian mummy? Wait, who is the Peruvian mummy?
It's another reincarnation of a Noxuna moon. And she's looking behind a rock, ready to plot her revenge.
Oh, good gosh.
Revenge for what?
The end.
Forget.
Yeah. She's jealous and angry. Listen, it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. What do you want me to do? Make it good? Make it explainable? No.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Asking questions.
So, King Crazy, I do apologize. I would ask to this take your spot for the next one because I don't want to forget what I've been thinking of for this movie. I do apologize.
What's the movie so I can get an image
Go for
you?
So, the movie is Deep Blue Sea.
God.
This one I did want to make as a sequel more than the other one, just because I did the plot I made for this. I have to talk about it.
That's
I got
fair.
a hurry from the last one, but sure, go for it.
Okay, I'll wait till we get the image change and then I'll swap over to what it is about.
Hold up. Did you know that there are 2 Deep Blue Sea sequels?
They are?
There's a Deep Blue Sea 2 and a Deep Blue Sea 3 that came out last year.
I didn't even know. I've never even heard of a sequel to this. My
Wait,
rule
who's in it?
is
I don't know. I'm looking for images and I just see Deep Blue Sea 2 and Deep Blue Sea 3.
okay. So those are probably like straight to DVD movies, I assume, or straight to streaming service movies, I assume. But okay, this
Holy
is really
crap,
the
yeah.
sequel to the first one, and I have a good one for this. In advance, I'm gonna apologize to everyone for this. This movie does not reflect any of my views. This is just to make a bad movie, and please do not get offended by what I'm about to say.
Oh boy.
I am literally putting a disclaimer in front of this one because I really have to.
No, say it's for a theme.
No, no. Well, it is a theme. I do understand the theme once you understand what I do. But again, I do want to apologize in advance because this may be offensive to some people,
I'm
and
already offended.
that's why I want to apologize in advance. Okay, so this movie is called Deep Red Sea. So it's a sequel to Deep Blue Sea called Deep Red Sea. So we start off with the end of Deep Blue Sea where the shark was exploded and crap, and they killed it. And then what they didn't realize was that all the shark guts and whatever from the dead shark seeped into the ocean itself, which attracted other sharks who ate this dead shark. And because this dead shark contained whatever modifications that made it more intelligent, it in its body had the gene for this, and so it started to so now all the other sharks that ate it now are starting to get super intelligence themselves. So the sharks all move away, and everyone thinks the movie's done. So cut 5 years later. Um, uh, People are enjoying the beach again. They think nothing's wrong. Everything is good. Then all you see at a random beach is a fin. It goes back down. No one notices the fin. A fin. It goes back down. No one notices it. And then you have this random person who's like these bunch of people who are all on these surfboards. One of them is a darker skin color than the others. The shark attacks that person and takes him down and leaves the other ones alone. And people can understand this theme based on what happened to Samuel L. Jackson in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have to apologize. And so people just see this splash of red in the ocean, and then the sharks other sharks going to start killing all the others, and then they disappear. So now this is reported as a freak shark accident, and then another freak shark accident happens at a different part of the country. Then another freak shark accident happens in another part of the country. Then another freak shark happens at another country in the world. And everyone realizes that all these attacks have the same thing in common. A shark randomly goes up to the beach, kills one person, more sharks appear, kill others, and they just disappear. And people are like, what the hell is going on? How are all of these shark attacks happening the same way at the same time? This can't be right. And it takes one person to realize, wait, this isn't just random shark attacks. This is some intelligence behind it. And then he's like, I remember, he's like, oh, I remember the notes of this other person about how they had this intelligent shark that tried to kill them all. What if they didn't destroy the formula? What if? Oh, crap. And then we get the title Deep Red Sea. The
Mm.
sharks, all the sharks now are super intelligent. They ensured that the ones who had the intelligence fed other sharks themselves so they can feed to other sharks. They've more or less created a new generation of sharks who are far more intelligent than all the previous sharks, and they have a hankering for blood, man blood. So now we continue with the world on red alert that they're sharks, and the sharks might be more intelligent. But of course, all the governments are just laughing when someone says they're more intelligent. They just assume this must be something that's affected the sharks' natural patterns, and they're just eating humans to substitute whatever's in the ocean. No one's taking this guy seriously when he says the sharks are getting more intelligence. They're planning something. And so he decides that he has to get proof of this. So he goes out on a boat but yes, I don't know who asked for this to be a franchise. He goes on the boat to try and get evidence that the sharks are planning something. And so, um, he goes around and he's noticing that that he can't find sharks in their natural habitats anymore. It's not just only the great white that was in it. There were other species of sharks as well. Now aren't where they're supposed to be. Something's going on. And then he's following. He's like, why are all these sharks going to this location? What's going on? And then he looks and he says, what could be in that path? What could it be? And then he sees off the thing Hurricane Isaac. And he goes, it can't be. It can't be. And then the hurricane makes landfall, and suddenly sharks fly over the hurricane and starts eating people. And now we have Deep Red Sea NATO.
Oh my god.
So the sharks have gotten intelligent enough that they can now ride hurricanes and other form of sea-based offensive attacks to jump onto land to kill stuff and then to get back into the hurricanes to make sure they get kept in water. And now we have the plot of Sharknado happening. People are seeing sharks jumping out from these hurricanes, from these tornadoes, from anything that can fly over water onto land, attacking and killing people in mass. And everyone's freaking out. What the hell is going on? Oh God, they're flying sharks everywhere. And then there's one person who is Samuel L. Jackson's son who comes out and says, I'm tired of these mother effing sharks in these mother effing potatoes. And he's here for vengeance. They killed his dad. He's out for blood.
They didn't kill his dad. You know what? Never mind.
They killed his dad. He's out for blood. And so now it becomes man versus shark. And one thing they've realized, the sharks are also they're also new species of sharks that are showing up. Some with electric powers, some with harder carapaces, some that are different. It's like, what the hell is going on? The sharks have started using humans' improper dumping of nuclear waste to mutate themselves into these super sharks. So they're not only intelligent sharks, they're now sharks with powers. So they're now street sharks.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Oh no.
and their leader's name is Jaws.
Of course.
So the sharks are communicating via how they regularly do. So you see subtitles of when the sharks are talking and fighting, and humans are like, we can't fight this. There are too many sharks. Where are all these sharks coming from? They're destroying all the infrastructure. They've taken down the power plants. You see, like a tornado flies over a nuclear power plant. A shark jumps inside and blows up, causing irreparable damage. They're like, how are sharks this intelligent? What's going on? And that's it. The sharks don't care. They have one thing: revenge on humanity and food. So whatever they will do, they'll take out, even if it sacrifices themselves, they'll take out as many humans as possible in the process. So, Samuel Jackson's son says, okay, we need to find a plan to stop all these sharks. We need to fight back against them. And so he goes to the smartest person in the world, Elon Musk.
No.
And he goes, Elon, we have to fight these sharks. We have to fight them. And Elon goes, I knew this was going to happen. They took my intelligence formula. They got smarter. I knew this day would come. I created something to fight these sharks. But it needs 2 people to pilot it. And you realize Samuel Jackson's son is actually played by John Boyega. And Elon Musk gives him the first Jaeger to pilot to fight sharks.
Oh my gosh.
So now you have this. Well, they're not as large as the regular Jaegers. They're like these miniature-sized ones, but they're still big enough that you can stand in the ocean. And it now becomes John Boyega and random persons, the second pilot, getting together to fight sharks in the ocean. Jaeger versus shark with superpowers. And this whole battle goes on, and it's just a bloodbath on both sides. Massive shark carnage, massive human carnage. It looks like there's no end in sight. And then the sharks do one final thing. They, using their intelligence, they find a way to cause storms to change the direction of a human one of these lasers that they did for defense. They and they use it to end up firing on the moon, destroying the moon, causing these two asteroids, bringing an Armageddon. Because then this way they can have the oceans rule over the seas, and now it becomes this massive.
So it's basically just a crossover of a bunch of movies.
Apparently.
So the movie ends with just the planet in ruins, the oceans rising, and it's now Jaws versus John Boyega in a
Jaeger.
Jaeger. And then John just says, I'm done. The world is destroyed. What else is there? The shark looks at John, and the shark just swims away, knowing that it's now their age. The rise of the waters, the effects of the tides from the destroyed moon, the ocean will take over the land, the sharks will reign. And that ends Deep Red Sea.
Wow.
Sorry, what was the theme?
Okay. Well, I say, oh yes, the theme was that the sharks were intentionally targeting black people first to eat.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'm sorry, just because of how stupid it was in that first movie when Sonny just jumped up and ate Samuel Jackson out of the blue. I was like, it had to be the running theme.
Oh yeah, of course. I get. I get it. I just. Jesus Christ.
Like I said, I had to bring this up before I could forget how dumb it can get. So it basically combines Deep Blue Sea, Sharknado, Jaws, Street Sharks, Armageddon, and a few other things all into one movie.
Okay. Okay.
Good God.
Hey, you wanted dumb. And I mean, you know what's going to be even funny about that? I bet they'll make it into a sci-fi movie and people will still watch it and love it.
Of course they would. Look at how many Sharknado movies there were. Like 4 or 5.
Yep.
They were not. They were not holding back on how stupid it was. Like they knew.
That's why I had to go with the dumb. And I mean, the only way to make Sharknado sharks have some form of plot is to make them hyper intelligent. That's the only way I could have done it, and that's why Deep Blue Sea did that for me.
That's fair.
Yes, there's a reason why I chose John Boyega as the name, just because it was going to rhyme with Elon Musk bringing out a Jaeger. Yes,
No, it was great. It was great. I love it.
okay, so I'll pass it on to you, King. This is the next one. Give me one.
It's Equilibrium, right?
Yes.
Okay, give me a sec.
Equilibrium.
There you go.
Okay. Great. All right. So the last movie ended with pretty much the downfall of their entire, security infrastructure, because the idea was using these drugs to shut down excessive emotions or any emotions so that no one would be, particularly interested in committing crimes or, starting war again. So we cut to a few years and things are running pretty well. And Christian Bale's daughter and son are less grown up. And the daughter, who is Hispanic now, is noticing something's a little off. Thereby, like almost like they're too happy. Like even in situations where happiness is not any sort of, like it's like you shouldn't be happy at your loved one's, funeral after they were murdered. Very odd stuff. But she continues with her schooling, and As it turns out, she's planning to be screw it, a marine biologist. She likes fish, you see.
Okay.
But then, at her school, people in mass just show up. A riot just breaks out. They have gone off the deep end with their emotions. So, with absolutely and utterly no training at all, unlike her father, she takes essentially two Nerf guns and starts doing the gun katas on all of them. And she's shooting these things into their mouths, which causes them to choke and die. So she's fighting all these people, no training at all. She's just taking them out. She's like, I have to find my dad, just to like just that because he could know what's going on. Meanwhile, Christian Bale is like he's retired and he's just listening to music, and then his house explodes. He's dead now. So the daughter got there like right then. She's like, no. But then her brother shows up and and now he's like a biker person and he's like, welcome to the war. Grabs her and they leave because these masked people were going after are just going after them too. And they're like, what's going on? And they're going after everybody who was also a whatever the hell he was called again. Give me a second. I was looking at these Deep Blue Sea movies. These multiple Deep Blue Sea, whatever. All right. Clerics. That's what they're called. So
Right.
they're going after anybody. Yeah, so they're going after anybody who was a cleric or related to them. They went after her. They went after the son. They went after. Well, they just killed Christian Bale. I hope you like that cameo. So they. So now it's like the purge, like because a lot of people were connected to them, directly or indirectly. Like like the guy, he's dead. His wife, dead. The guy at the deli who sold him a sandwich that one time, dead. Any trace of anything related to a cleric is just getting removed. Weird, wouldn't you say? So she's questioning how in the world she knows how to use the gun katas like their father. Turns out the drugs that they were taking to lower their emotions back then, it actually increases their physical strength. They were super soldiers, you see. So all that stuff that she just did, that was luck. Now she needs to know how to really fire a gun. So, quick little montage of her shooting a gun. She shoots a can and she just gets it. She's a trained killer now. So, now they're going to go infiltrate this group of masked people to find their leader and find the truth of what's going on. So, they find this one person played by Mindy Kaling, and she's like,
Okay.
yes, and she's in the group because she's new. She doesn't really know anything yet. But it's like if you but if you're in this group, why did you join? And the reason is the AI father thing that was actually controlling them all those years ago. Some of that's still going on, but because Christian Bale wrecked it the last time, now this new one's trying to take things to a new direction. Instead of less emotions, they need more emotions. But to make this point really hit, they have to get rid of all traces of the entire old regime. But luckily, they have masks on, and no one can tell who they are from their voices or height or any of that stuff. Just grab a mask and they're good. So they go to this big rally. They're gonna take out any leftovers of the clerics, and they're being led by Tay Diggs. who, despite getting his face cut off in the last movie, is here somehow. How did he do it? Because he has a twin brother who he never got along with and never mentioned. So, the plan is take out Cleric and any remaining traces of them, take out any of the families, and then the city will belong to them in an orgy of chaos and colors. Just random, just really paint the town red. Okay? But remembering her gun training, the daughter goes ahead, shoots Tay Diggs in the face in front of everybody. Everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And then they just barrel after her, and so the son grabs the motorcycle that was conveniently there. They're running, and now you have a whole cadre of motorcycle people just going after them because they just killed their leader, who was smart and powerful and cunning. You see,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't show anything, but you know, because they say it with their words. So now you have this whole ridiculous gunfight, and luckily for them, Mindy Kaling gets a garbage truck, and then starts running through these people with their motorcycles, grabs these two, and they make their escape. And Mindy Kaling's like, "Why did you do that? Why am I doing this? What's going on?" And it's like, okay, they killed this leader, but these people are still going crazy. And then the son's like, "I'm gonna take over. I'm going to take over these people, and I'm going to, get them to stop whatever it is they're doing. I'll stop the murder orgy. Leave it to me, sis." And she's like, "No, you can't do that." And then he hits her, and then he like conks her over the head, and then just leaves. And then he kisses Mindy Kaling because reasons. So he goes back, but then people grab him and inject him with a new serum that ups his emotions. So now he's just batshit insane. And he's still gonna lead them because they like him, I guess. And he's just like, "Oh, the murder orgy is back on." But then you have the daughter who wakes up, grabs Mindy Kaling, and every other person that she could find, literally every other person that she could find, and then she starts training them to use the gun katas, so that which she didn't really learn, but she saw her dad do it once, and that's good enough. So she grabs them. They grab all their guns, and now it's just this whole big gunfight. And her and her brother are having this whole big gun kata fight, and then shoots him in the kneecaps, and and the pain makes him snap out of it. So he's like, "Ah, I can't walk anymore. But thank you. No, I got my brain back." But then she knocks him out because she doesn't trust him anymore. And then she goes to find the evil alternate the alternate AI to stop that. And then she's like, "Dial this number," and shoots it. And now with now everybody's shooting everybody else in the kneecaps. And while everybody's in wheelchairs, the world has been saved. But then right at the tail end, she gets a call from Samuel Jackson saying, "I need you for something." He's got an eye patch. So,
Oh
credits.
my god.
More Avengers. There we go.
I guess since we're just
What?
adding
Whoa,
movies
whoa,
to
whoa,
different
whoa.
things, I mean,
Whoa. Just because Samuel Jackson with an eye patch doesn't mean it's Avengers.
what
This
is it
Samuel
then?
Jackson has hair.
So
Totally
it's
different guy.
Avengers in the nine. Oh wait, no.
So wait, is Pulp Fiction Avengers?
No, he has hair and an eye patch. It's different.
Again, Pulp Fiction Avengers.
No, it's not that.
So
He
what
just
is
happens to
it?
have an eye patch. It's not anything. It's totally original.
Oh, good gosh. Okay. So,
Is
Sonny,
that the
before
end of
you
your
go,
movie? Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Is that
Oh,
the end of the movie, King?
oh, after the credits, the the son's legs start working. He starts going crazy again. Sequel bait. Now it's over.
Okay, so just to get through three very quick ones or two very quick ones before we go back to Sunny, because these will take like 10 seconds
No
for
problem.
bad movies. So these are remakes. These are not actually no. Three of these. These are remakes. These are not two are remakes. One is a sequel. So the first remake, Pokemon the movie 2000. At the end, when Ash is stone and they're all sad and everything, and the power of taste is about to bring him back to life, Charizard knocks him over and he breaks into two. Then he comes back to life. Movie's even worse.
Jesus.
Movie's even worse than the first time. Now they're like, he's back to life, but he's now in half. The end. Okay, the second one, Iron Man 2. Tony Stark is all crazy and stuff. He's driving, whatever. No, Electro Is it Electro's his name? Or Whiplash, whatever the hell. I think it's Whiplash, right?
Mm.
Okay,
Wait,
Whiplash
wait,
comes out.
wait. Iron Man 2.
The Iron Man 2, yeah. Is it
Yeah,
Whiplash?
Whiplash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whiplash comes out, hits Tony Stark's car to the point where it flies off the thing into the crowd, exploding. Tony Stark dies. Iron Man 2 is over. The end. There you go. I think it might be better than the actual Iron Man 2, but it's still a bad movie.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And then the last one, sequel to Matrix, The Matrix 2, the end.
Bro.
There you go, guys. 3 quick wins.
Okay.
Off to you, Sonny.
So, that was Equilibrium. I'm going to be doing Child's Play. Well, a sequel of sorts to both the original and the remake from a couple years ago. So, it's a sequel to the last Don Mancini movie, which was Cult of Chucky. At the end
Sorry
of
to interrupt.
Yes.
That screenshot is so creepy. I forgot how creepy that doll looks.
Yep, that's why I picked it.
Please continue.
So, at the end of Cult of Chucky, big spoilers for the whole franchise, Chucky essentially won. He managed to get one of his consciousnesses into Nika, and Andy Barclay from the first two movies was trapped in an insane asylum. That's not even a really good name for it. A mental health hospital. That's a lot better. But it was an asylum movie, so you know. Anyway.
Right.
Chucky manages to get away with Tiffany, who is now in Jennifer Tilly's body, and has trapped Nika's her niece, Alice, in a Tiffany doll. That's the end of Cult of Chucky. What we found out was that Chucky can split his consciousness into different dolls. So there could be a bunch of good guy dolls with Chucky's whole being in it. That was already kind of weird and but whatever. So here we go. We start off a year later. Andy manages to escape that hospital because, you know, he was never actually admitted in there. And Chucky's out there wreaking havoc, killing people, using bodies, splitting his consciousness off into different things. The original Chucky is still trapped inside that room that Andy made, being tortured by his foster sister, whose name I forgot. Andy's foster sister, Kyle. That's her name. So,
Kyle?
yeah, Kyle. That is her name. That was her name from Child's Play 2. This is not me making up names. So Kyle's still torturing Chucky. And Andy finally manages to walk in, and Kyle says, "Where have you been?" Andy says, I've been out hunting." And he tosses a bag on the table full of dead Chucky dolls. So he starts to interrogate Chucky with some torture stuff. He starts using a blowtorch on Chucky's head again, and it's like, what is your plan? What do you want to do? And Chucky's like, well, I'm a completionist. I gotta kill everybody who's wronged me ever. So we get a cutscene, well, not a cutscene. The next scene is of those two people from Bride of Chucky. I forgot their names. Katherine Heigl and whoever the dude who was playing her boyfriend was. They're living together and they're married now, years later. So they get a ring on their doorbell. They open it. They open the door. There's a box. They open the box. The box just has a tape recorder in it. They're like, who sends a tape recorder in 2020 whatever? They play the tape. They hear a deep voice. It's Jigsaw.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm going there. Then Billy the Puppet rides in on a tricycle. It's like, I'd like to play a game. He says, go into the kitchen. They go into the kitchen, and it's been rigged with traps. The door closes behind them. They can't get out. The tape keeps playing. In one of these drawers is your salvation. But if you open the wrong one, it'll explode. And one of you will die. So they're arguing about who's going to open the drawer, and the man's like, hey, I'm going to do it because I'm the man, and blah, blah, blah. He opens the drawer. It's the wrong drawer, but nothing happens. And all of a sudden, you hear Chucky cackling from behind them, and he jumps on him and starts stabbing the crap out of him. And Katherine Heigl just screams, and she tries to run out. But no, Jennifer Tilly's in the house too, but she doesn't stab anybody. She says, "Oh, Glenn." And the annoying kid doll from Seed of Chucky comes in and is twitching because that's what he did in Seed of Chucky. And he just flips out and like cuts her legs off. Doesn't do anything else, just cuts her legs off. Takes the legs and he leaves. Doesn't make any sense. I don't care. So they take the legs, and it turns out they're using parts of all of the people that they're killing to make a super person for one of them to put their consciousness in. They'll be able to be that person or whatever. I don't know. I'm coming up with this stuff off the top of my head, and it makes absolutely no sense what's going on in my brain right now.
All right, keep going.
So, they're building this person out of the corpses of everyone they've killed already. Alice has gone crazy in the Tiffany doll, and she's joined their cause. Andy is freaking out because he doesn't know any of the victims. So he and Kyle just have to wait until there's some kind of like a big news story for them to like go out and destroy this whole Chucky family. Like it's truly become a cult of Chucky. And then there's a knock on that one room that they're in, torturing the Chucky head. They open it up, and it's the Chucky doll from the remake. voiced by Mark Hamill. It's like,
Wait, was that? Wait, was that one like a robot?
yes, it's the robot.
Okay.
So he walks in and starts singing that annoying "You Are My Buddy" song from the movie, and everybody's freaked out because they don't know what to do. So Andy shoots it. Bullets mean nothing to it because it's a robot. Chucky's like, "Who the F are you?" And he's like, "I'm your buddy." So Chucky just like regenerates on the spot. I don't care. This is a crappy movie. We doing it. Chucky regenerates, and now he gets up and he starts fighting Robot Chucky from the reboot or remake, whatever the heck it is. So while they're fighting, Kyle and Andy have no idea what to do because they hate Chucky, but there's another Chucky there that looks almost identical but is a robot. So they watch and see. And then Chucky's like, hold up, hold up, hold up. Why are you attacking me? And he's like, well, you're a bad guy, and I don't like bad people. He's like, but these guys have been torturing me for like 3 years. So Reboot Chucky and OG Chucky team up and try to murder both Andy and Kyle. They fight him off and run away. But they know that they can't go to the police because nobody's going to believe that two dolls are trying to kill him. Andy has had experience with this his whole life. He knows that nobody's going to believe him. His mother went to a mental hospital for this. By the way, she's dead. Like, she was alive in the last movie or something like that. And I think yeah, she's dead. I don't care. She's the mom from Seventh Heaven, so she's dead.
Okay.
And that's because Chucky killed her. It's not like she died of anything like natural. Chucky went and killed her while Andy was stuck in the hospital. And so they try to escape and go to a safe house, but it turns out it's been overrun by like an army of Chucky dolls. So the Chucky that has taken over Nika and Jennifer Tilly and little Glenn all walk up to them, and actually it's Glenn and Glenda. They split his consciousness into two kids. I don't care. Whatever. Glenn pops up too. And they're like, so you think you can defeat the cult of Chucky? And Andy... Sorry?
I was like, oh no, they said the name of the movie.
Well, this movie isn't called Cult of Chucky. It's I haven't decided on the name. I'll figure it out by the end of this. Cult of Chucky was literally the last Don Mancini Chucky movie. So this one would be
Chucky v. Chucky, Dawn of Chucky.
Chucky v. Chucky, Domination.
No. Chucky v. Chucky, Up Chuck.
I like it. So, the Chucky army is there, and Reboot Chucky and OG Chucky walk in. And OG Chucky is the one with like the scars and stuff on his face, so we know how to differentiate them. So they walk up and they're all cornered, and Kyle can't handle it. She's injured from, I guess they had a car accident on the way there and walked the rest of the way. I don't care. So Andy's basically carrying Kyle and trying to fight off all the Chuckies while the main Chucky family is watching. And by the main Chucky family, I mean OG Chucky, Robot Chucky, Nika Chucky, Jennifer Tilly, and Glenn and Glenda. So all of them are watching as the army of Chuckies fight Andy, and Andy is just going to town, stomping, chopping, shooting, doing whatever he can to protect Kyle, like the last person he ever cared about in the world. Because basically, Andy doesn't have a life. He can't date. He can't do anything. Everybody knows who he is because of the story from the first movie. So if he only has Kyle left, and he has to fight for his life and for her life to even keep that. So as he's doing it, he's getting injured little by little, and Kyle gets stabbed in the gut by one of the Chuckies. So he pulls out a grenade and throws it. It blows up a bunch of Chuckies, but they're starting to overwhelm them. And Robo Chucky is like, I don't know, I don't think this is a very good thing to do. Because Robo Chucky has this weird sense of morality for some reason, because he's actually a children's toy, but just doesn't understand what good and evil are in certain contexts. So he realizes the error of his ways and attacks Jennifer Tilly. So he kills Jennifer Tilly. Chucky's big mad now, and they start fighting. But Robo Chucky is the superior Chucky. Not movie wise, just physically, because he's a robot. And he just rips apart all of the Chuckies. Like, tears through them. But the Chucky army turns its attention to them, to Robo Chucky, and like swarms him. This is now an action movie, by the way. Robo Chucky starts getting overwhelmed by all the Chuckies, getting damaged little by little. Then all of a sudden, one of them hits a self-destruct feature that he has. I don't know why they built a self-destruct feature in a children's toy, but you know what? We're going with it. So that Chucky explodes massively. It kills almost every single person there except for Kyle, Andy, OG Chucky, and Glenda. Because Glenn died. I don't care. Also, Alice died too, I guess. I don't know. She was around there somewhere. Oh, and Nika Chucky died too. Because it's hard to keep track of all these Chucky people. Anyway, so most of the Chuckies are dead. There's only two of them left, Chucky and Glenda. Chucky's injured. Glenda's like in half but still alive. And they're crawling towards Kyle and Andy. And Chucky can regenerate now, by the way, because he regenerated before. And he can't transfer that power to anybody else, but you know, it's some voodoo stuff. So Chucky's crawling and is ready to like murder the crap out of Kyle, who's like almost on death's door. But Andy gets a second wind and gets up and stomps the crap out of Chucky. And Andy pretty much overwhelms Chucky and then kills Glenda. And as he's about to deal the final blow with a shotgun blast, aiming down the barrel, Chucky looks up and reiterates this line from the first movie. Andy, no. We're friends to the end, remember? And Andy says, this is the end, friend.
Oh my god.
Boom!
I know you do that.
I had to do it. I had to. And the movie's over. Andy manages to get Kyle medical attention, and they manage to live the rest of their lives. Well, not the rest of their they manage to get away from the situation and live peaceful lives. And time skip forward to about 10 years later. Andy's in his 40s, Kyle's in her 50s. There's a knock on the door. Andy is very paranoid now, but he's still a grizzled old fighter. He opens the door, and there's a box. Similar to the end of Curse of Chucky, where Chucky mailed himself to Andy. Andy gets his shotgun ready because he's stockpiled a lot of weapons. He opens the box. It's not a Chucky doll. It's Billy the puppet. And he gets up and says, "Hello, Andy. I'd like to play a game." Boom. And you don't have time for that crap. He shoots the doll. The end. That's it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it was whack,
Definitely.
but that's the point. But
Okay.
yeah, it's supposed to take place sometime after the series, I guess, because there's gonna be a Chucky TV show on Sci-Fi.
Oh, good lord. Um, Actually, when you were talking about that, you gave me an idea, and just to make an alternate bad ending for this, just because I can. So, at the point when you had it in your thing before, where you had Andy, and Kyle both being getting ready to be killed by the Chuckies, in the background, all you hear is a song playing, and the song is not playing correctly. And people are like, "What the hell? What is this song?" And Andy recognizes the song, and he's like, "No, it can't be. I locked these things up after Chucky. It can't be." The song he hears is, "You have a friend in me,"
Oh my god,
What a twist!
and then you see come out from the other side is
Woody,
oh god, I forgot the main character of Toy Story is now. Damn
Woody,
it, Woody with
Buzz,
a gun,
a
and
gun.
he's like a grizzled Woody because he's had to escape from the chest. All these toys have been trapped inside the chest in the attic ever since
I
the
see what you're
Chucky incident
doing.
happened.
I see what you're doing. I got
And
you.
so you have a grizzled Woody where a piece of his leg is missing because he had to use it to try and pick the lock. You have a Buzz Lightyear who's gone insane for being trapped inside the thing for so long, and you have all these toys that come out and they're like, Andy, and they are pissed. And Andy and Kyle are like, oh god, what hell? I was like, what are those? What are those? And he's like, no, no, they're alive too. No.
Well,
And then
now I gotta rework that ending. So at the end, after
The
Jigsaw, not Jigsaw,
Snyder
Billy
cut.
the puppet has been destroyed, we hear a weird sound, like one of those pull string dolls. There's a snake in my boots. The end. That's the sequel. Sequel hook,
No,
baby.
there
no,
you go. So
no,
it's a good
Snyder cut.
reason that both shows had Andy as the main character's name. It just fits in so perfectly.
King Crazy, you were gonna say something?
And I was saying like having it be Toy Story involved is like, I mean, that's like the Snyder cut.
Yeah, it's the Snyder Cut version. Yeah, I'm sorry. When you were talking about them, just like it fits so perfectly, especially since the protagonist is called Andy. I'm like, it just works so well that you can have Toy Story in there, and the only reason you don't see Toy Story at all is because he's so traumatized from Chucky, he locks away all the rest of his toys.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. I like that. I like that.
And then those toys are now out for revenge as well because they haven't been played in so many years. They've been trapped inside a chest, and they want revenge.
How could you do this to us, Andy?
So Andy gets double the trauma now. Oh man,
That image looks never mind. Why did I pick that?
that image is creepy. Okay, so we are back on to King. You have a
Okay,
next movie.
I do. I'm trying to get this. Well,
Tell me the
because it's
name.
a Freddy versus Jason 2.
Oh god,
Jesus.
are we actually going to get more body bags? Wait. Is this going to be Freddy Scissors Hands versus Jason 2000?
Freddy Scissorhands. I
It's a
would hope
joke.
not.
He's now fused with Edward Scissorhands, so his entire hand is all now scissory. And the Jason from the Space Jason movie. I think it was that Jason X. I think that was
Yeah, that
Yes,
was
it
Jason
was Jason X.
X.
Freddy Scissorhands
So
versus Jason X.
no,
Sorry, go ahead.
I wouldn't touch Jason X because the movie was great. It was
Okay.
Dang.
The only reason I remember Jason X is because it had that lady who played the AI in Andromeda. That's the only reason I remember
Yes.
Jason X.
Yo, there's your image. You go off. I don't know how you can make Freddy versus Jason worse, but God, you're gonna cross it over with other bad movies. Oh.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, no. Okay, so if you recall the ending to Freddy versus Jason, the first one,
I don't, thankfully.
oh, don't worry, it's real quick. Jason had, well, they had somehow corporealized Freddy so that Jason could cut off his head, but the head was still alive. So Freddy's not done yet, as that ending suggested. So after squishing the head, because Jason would do that, now he would, like, you have Freddy back in hell, and he's a bit pissed because that was a loss. That was a major loss. He he failed to kill that one kid that he was torturing for years. That that big titty girl with her nipples out all the whole time, couldn't kill her. And then this this Jason Voorhees douchebag who's like, who, like, he beat him, and that's just not right, you know. So he waits, he plots, he's looking around for like any weapons that could actually like help him, and then he finds it in the CIA because spies sleep. So he starts influencing these high-ranking government officials to take Jason and lock him away in a special facility. As it turns out, and Derek Jr. the idea, they're actually going after other horror movie characters. Like, they actually trapped Candyman in there.
Hold up.
They
Nope. You're not going to disrespect
no no no
Candyman.
no 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 no, no, no. It's cool. It's cool. So
Eh.
they have Candyman. They have the Leprechaun. They got, what's his name, Leatherface. They got, what's his name, Pennywise. It's like they have a whole whatever of all these horror movie characters. They have what they believe is the Chucky doll. They're not sure, but they believe they got the right one. But it hasn't moved. There has been aliens, but they're just not sure. But no one wants to go in there because it's Chucky,
Okay,
right?
okay. So this sounds like a really off episode of Warehouse 31 for anyone who's ever seen that sci-fi series.
It
I have not.
it also
But anyway,
sounds like the Cabin in the Woods.
I have seen neither of those things.
Oh, you need to see
But
Cabin
whatever.
in the Woods.
Anyway, so all right, so Freddy sees all these horror movie whatevers, and he's like, nah, nah, I can't abide this. I do not abide all these freaks who are just here taking my kills. All right, all these people, all these kids, they're mine. I want them. So he influences the head of the CIA, whoever that is, played by Ernie Hudson, because screw it, to just put kill orders on all of them. But little does anybody know that one of these killers was actually like really interested in like getting all these people so that they could go out and, you know, kill more, because this one random guy who you never see the face of is the Ghostface guy from Scream. That's right. There was another one. So
Hold up.
he let
I know that it's supposed to be a bad movie, but Ghostface has been different. Has been a different person in every single movie.
yes,
So they just got
and
a
he is
guy in a
now
Ghostface costume.
no. The guy is one of the CIA people.
Okay.
They didn't know when they hired him because why would they?
Okay.
So so he sees that all of his precious people things are going to get killed. So he masks up and he's like, no, I don't abide this. And then the most recent one, Jason, just lets him out. And he starts wreaking havoc. But of course, he's also ducking and dodging Jason because it's Jason. Because the Ghostface guy happens to also be the smart person in this movie. Because the CIA is, of course, nothing but a bunch of bumbling chucklefucks. They can't aim, they can't figure out any way to do any of this. No one's ever seen any way to beat Jason, even though they caught him. But screw it, they're just doing it. And then the Ghostface guy also releases Chucky, and Chucky, who actually they did get the right one, is scurrying around, stabbing everybody. He finds Ernie Hudson and kills him. But then in Ernie Hudson's office, there's a chest, and there's just a knocking, and Chucky opens this to find Brahms the boy. So they both have knives, and they're having a little knife fight all over the facility, and of course, strong female character is running around not knowing what the hell's going on, but she's got a gun. She's gonna deal with this shit. She's shooting at Jason, not in the head because of course not, but he's just hunting her down, specifically almost. What is the reason for that? Who knows? But the Ghostface guy is running around and he runs into another one of these inmates also being influenced by Freddy, and it's Leatherface with his chainsaw. So they're having a knife versus chainsaw fight. Meanwhile, Freddy is trying to make any sense of any of this shit because this went off the rails. But he finds one person that he knows could take out all the opposition and be a useful tool for later. And you see this girl running from Jason, and she's having the same idea. Like, who is the other biggest, baddest guy in the facility that they could use to fight Jason head on? So Freddy's influencing this person, she's opening the doors, and then Jason just stops right as he's about to kill her to see who it is, and it's Michael Myers. So now they're having a big old machete fight, and everybody's just going nuts. Meanwhile, Freddy is cackling that all this shit's going on, and then hold on, I'm trying to look at this dude's name. Fuck it, screw it, not him. But meanwhile, Pennywise, who was trapped by ancient magic seals or whatnot, he gets loose. So now he actually tries to invade Freddy's dreamscape. So now you got Pennywise, who manifests as like a stand persona thing with Jason, and Freddy, who manifests as a stand type thing with Michael Myers, and now they're having a big old stand fight. And meanwhile, the girl's getting the hell out of there, but then she tries to hide in a closet with Brahms and Chucky also there, and they're just fighting around her, and it's like, and you know what? The camera jump cuts everywhere. Everyone's just going nuts. Meanwhile, Ghostface gets away from Leatherface, and because Leatherface is just a crazy with a chainsaw, so he has to get away from that. But then another guy kills Ghostface, having the idea, actually manages to take the mask and becomes the new Ghostface because he hates this job. So they're running around, and now Ghostface and Leatherface have a face-off. So they're fighting again, but for the first time, because he was trying to get out, but Leatherface was trying to get Ghostface because Ghostface fought him before. Now it's a different Ghostface faces, and now you have the walls coming down because Jason and Michael just have super strength. They're just blasting each other through the walls. And then Chucky and Brahms are just running around each other, just stabbing everything except each other because reasons. And now everybody's chasing this girl, the girl who just keeps surviving this shit. because she just can. And then she stops because something's above her. And then what's his name? Leatherface just rips the dude apart. This other ghost face kills him, and the blood and the blood just like, splatters over to her, and then it triggers something. And then she turns around, and then you see her name was Carrie, and she starts blowing everybody away with their psychic powers. And then
Hold up.
Brom just
Hold up. Carrie's dead.
no, she isn't.
You
Carrie
know what?
White? No. Okay, you
No,
know what?
no,
It's
no,
supposed to be a bad movie. You're right. You're
no,
right.
no, because there was a sequel. Did you ever see Carrie 2?
The Rage Carrie 2? Yeah, that wasn't Carrie. That was her
Well,
half
she's
sister.
back. Well, she's back again, and she's working for the CIA.
I've already called. This is just a Mortal Kombat DLC. I've convinced at this point.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, no, it's no, it's like no, it's totally Freddy versus Jason.
Again, it's a
So
Mortal Kombat DLC. It's literally a Mortal Kombat DLC at this point. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
but as it turns out, all this psychic backlash from Carrie, who's pretty much who just blasts a hole in the ceiling because reasons. Now Freddy's like, ooh wee, I gotta get some of that. So he possesses another guy, another survivor person. And he starts talking to Carrie to like get her on his side, and she just blows this dude away, fighting against the walls. And he's like, okay, that did not work. And one second. Uh, and the facility happens to be located in what was like happens to be located in the Florida countryside. And there's a reason for this, you see. The reason being because all this shit's going on, and the reason the facility was built in the first place was because they were actually looking for another big monster, the Creeper from Cheapers Creepers, who has noticed all this shit, sees all the fear, and he's like, ooh, snap, smorgasbord, I'm going. So now you have the Creeper, and everyone's like, that's a literal demon. So Pennywise and Freddy are like, okay, fuck this shit. I'm taking a leaving. But they're like, no, you're on my territory, motherfucker. I'm taking you out. So now you have Freddy and Pennywise in a slap fight. Like, and then, but then you have Carrie fighting the Creeper, who is pretty much brushing up all of her psychic attacks. Like she's throwing shit, and it's just not working. And then but then the Creeper sees Leatherface, smiles because he's like, hey, I see what you're doing. Good one. So now they team up, and now pretty much everybody's picking sides. You got Freddy's side, which is consisting of Brahms the boy, Leatherface, Creeper, and and that's it. And then you have Jason's side, which has Jason, Carrie, another Ghostface because another guy picked the mask, and whoever else was left. Oh no, wait, Michael Myers. Actually, yes, Michael Myers sees with Jason because he got possessed, and now they're like, okay, we're on the same page now. So now it's a big old civil war fight, and it is gas like you got Carrie trying to blast Pennywise out of existence, but Penny's like, "Fuck you, bitch," and it's a fucking mess of it where you don't even know whose side's on who's side anymore. But then the walls start closing in on them, literally, and they're like, "Yo, what the fuck's going on with this place?" Turns out the facility that they were on was made out of pieces of the event horizon. And something on the other side's loving this, and then you see Doctor Weir, who's alive again, and he's like, "Nah, I'm taking you all. He's like, you're gonna be my servants." And Freddy's like, "Fuck you, you freak!" So now they're fighting literal hell, and the creeper's like, "Nah, fuck this shit." He's trying to like break out of the walls, and now they have to be like all teamed up against literal hell, and then out of nowhere, Jason's mother shows up, and she's like, "Enough. This has gone on long enough. I will give up my soul, which was here still, to protect my boy." And Dr. Weir's like, "Okay." And then it takes her, but then he's like, "Psych," and it turns her into another monster. So now you have this giant demoness Voorhees mother thing, and she and now it's just this big final boss fight with all these horror monsters just going after her. You got Creeper providing air support. You got Carrie trying to like do some long range shit. Everybody's up close to melee. You got Freddy and Pennywise trying to do some like psychic, like inside psychic shit, to, like take her out from within. And then you have what's his name, Jason, climb up to her neck and be like, "Mother!" For the first time, he's speaking. He's speaking now. Just slashes her, and the monster thing just collapses. And then Carrie, before the monster land on her, just psychic blast everything, big explosion, and then they all just get scattered. So they all go back to their places of origin, and Jason, having just killed his mother, goes back to Crystal Lake and just somberly just dies. And
Huh.
then and then we cut to Freddy, who has now gained up blood vengeance against Pennywise, and now sequel bait for the next movie, Freddy versus no Penny versus Freddy. Now I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I
My brain turned off after like the first 5 minutes of that. I'm sorry, man. I'm just like too many
too
details to
much.
keep track
It's
of.
just too much. It's supposed to be bad, and you did it.
You're not close to the ballpark, man. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me
So we're
move on
gonna
to my.
totally watch that movie.
Oh gosh. Let me move on to my last pick then. Armageddon.
Okay.
So
Let me.
Actually, track on before you say, just
sure.
want to point out that movie, Freddy versus Jason 2 Civil War. That is my last one. I had no ideas after that.
Not a problem. I think each of us having three is good enough since you're already hitting the two of them.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my two. This is the last one.
Okay, then I'll do the last one then. So this is Armageddon 2. So this picks up many years after the first one. So you have oh my god, what's his name? Um,
Ben Affleck.
not Ben Affleck. Well, yeah, Ben Affleck was the son-in-law, right? He married Bruce Willis' daughter.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. So now you have Ben Affleck now running his own oil rig because he's honoring his father-in-law's memory because he sacrificed himself to stop the first asteroid, and he gets a call from the government again, and then they go, "We need your help," and he's like, "What do you mean? Another asteroid is heading for Earth? What? Another one? How is this possible?" Um, uh, these things shouldn't be happening one after the other. They shouldn't have another asteroid coming already. And they said, There's another asteroid. We need your team." And Ben Affleck goes, "But there is no more team. All the others are too old. They've retired. I haven't trained anyone new to be astronauts. We don't have a team." And then he goes, "But I'll do my best." And military goes, okay, no problem. We'll supply with all you need. You have to train these people to become real astronauts. We'll send over these astronauts to you very soon. So, um, uh, moments later, a bunch of astronauts come, getting ready to be trained to become drill instructors, so they can stop the asteroid. And when the vehicle pulls up, he's expecting to see like these regular Joes. All of a sudden, these people with black suits and black glasses all come up from this one limousine. And then you have two people come out, and one goes, "My name is J. My name is K.
Oh,
We
fuck.
we need your help to stop these asteroids because they're not really asteroids. They are actually doomsday weapons in disguise from an alien race that wants to destroy Earth. We need you to drill into these things so our people can disarm these bombs. If we blow them up without this, we can cause catastrophic damage to our universe." So now it's Armageddon um, teaming up with the Men in Black to stop an alien attack against Earth. So he finds out that the first asteroid that was sent was a test asteroid sent by the aliens to see if it was feasible to destroy Earth without them getting involved. But after seeing the amount of how the struggle of Earth, which is MIB headquarters, to stop this asteroid, they've gone about with their plan and they've sent not one asteroid but two asteroids, one behind the other, each with its own universe destroying, sorry, the solar system destroying bomb inside of it to wipe out everything. And so now, the Men in Black must now team up with this one person who's actually successfully dug into an asteroid to destroy it, and they now have to work together to stop these two asteroids. So, then they go up to space. They, instead of having to use regular rocket ships, the MIB have these alien ships, which they use to take themselves onto the asteroids themselves. All these people are just. This was of course after the montage scene of him training MIB agents on how to successfully drill into an asteroid. Doesn't matter if it takes many years of skills to even learn how to drill stuff, but it didn't matter. These are people who, in after a few months, learn how to become astronauts. So I mean, at this point, believability got thrown out the window since the first movie.
That's fair.
Sure.
So he's training them how to be proper oil drill people on an asteroid. So now they go up there and they start their drilling. K's on one asteroid, J's on the other, and Ben Affleck is working with J. When they drill in fast enough, all of a sudden they get attacked. The aliens came prepared. They had defenses on these asteroids to stop them from being destroyed. And so now a fight ensues where the Men in Black are fighting these things on top of asteroids which are coming towards Earth. And you have Ben Affleck trying his best to get these two drills, one into both of the asteroids working. Eventually, they succeed to get into the asteroid, and Jay and Ben Affleck are able to disarm the first one. And then when they call over to Kay saying, "Okay, Kay, are you ready to disarm yours?" Kay's like, "I can't." Well, but what's happened? The disarm feature was damaged in the attack. We can't disarm this asteroid anymore. So they're like, "Oh no, what are we going to do?" There's only one thing you can do. You have to move this asteroid, your asteroid, into this asteroid, and send us into the sun. The heat should be able to destroy the device before it explodes. This is the only way. And so they jury rig an asteroid to then make an explosion, so it changes path to crash into the other asteroid, and Jay and Ben Affleck and all the rest look on to see Kay sacrifice himself to send the other asteroid into the sun. And that's how Jay became the head of the MIB organization. The end.
Wait. When Kate was about to go into the sun during his sacrifice, did an Aerosmith song play?
Yes, why not? Go ahead. like literally, you see Kay stick his finger up as well, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger as he goes into the sun.
Sure.
There you go. I'm
Cool.
sorry. I ran out of creative juices after the second movie.
That's why I'm not doing a third one.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. There's no more I can do with this.
Okay, so
So I think we all learned a valuable lesson here.
The Hollywood sucks.
Bad movies are easy.
Not really. That's not true.
Well,
if you're going completely out there with your ideas, then it's not easy. But if you
I
just want to
mean,
make it bad and keep it in like confined to the canon of or the lore of the movie, then it's doable. It's not easy. It's not simple. You still got to
I'm
put some effort into it.
I'm gonna be honest here. I'll rather watch any of the 8 movies we pitched than the last Airbender again. Except for your last movie, King Crazy. I'm sorry. I would be in such a loss after like the first 10 minutes that I'll be like, what? Oh, okay. Yay. What?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Apparently, there's a whole organization dedicated to capturing movie monsters that just happen to catch all of them in this movie
Actually,
right
funny
now.
enough, you know what would actually be a crossover for that? And as Julia now thought about it, it makes sense. For any of you
Batman
who's ever heard
Woods,
of SCP,
SCP.
that would be the perfect organization tie-in for that, where it's like we secure, contain, protect. We've trapped these things. They got out.
Wait, what is SCP?
You ever heard of SCP? It's this basically this fan
The
creation
fanfic database of a bunch of different creatures that
that
have been
fans have
contained.
created that
If
have
they
been
get
contained.
out, then we're all screwed.
Yeah. So it's very
I will
interesting.
look
They
that up.
they they have a few mangas based on SCP. They have a video game that's based
Oh,
on it
oh,
as well.
oh, like the trope. Okay, yeah. Okay, in that case, yeah, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Never mind.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So for your idea, if they were all locked up, funny enough, there's also another thing I was thinking of for yours to go in a completely different direction from Freddy versus Jason. Just because we have some time, I would actually give the idea. So you talk about Freddy going to hell.
Yep.
So when Freddy gets to hell, he sees he sees this gigantic demon, and the demon calls itself Malbosia.
No,
uh, uh, I would have done something even worse or better.
Well, oh,
Who
you
knows?
you you don't
Like,
Freddy with the spawn suit? Freddy's now spawn.
now we could do a little bit different. Um, Pretty much grabbing a bunch of movie monsters, sending them to like deep Brazil to catch the predator.
No, no.
Yes, yes, you'll have yes. It'll be a Suicide Squad of let's see, Leatherface, Jason, Chucky.
Well, I'll tell you this
What are
right
the ghost
now.
faces?
That Suicide Squad would actually kill the government before they even took off their mission. Like
yep.
they're actually gonna to worry about a bomb in their heads. They'll kill all the government before they even go on the mission.
Blow up Jason's head, he's still going to come back. You blow up Chucky, there's another Chucky doll, or he eventually comes back with his bicycle.
Dude, it's a bad movie. We're just gonna take them, drop them in the jungle, and just see what happens.
I mean, if you want to do that, then just take the actual legit Suicide Squad and send them after the Predator.
No, that's a good idea.
No,
How's
it
that a good
really
idea?
isn't.
That's just as bad. You
Also,
see,
check
that
out. Go ahead.
no, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I was gonna watch Boomerang try to throw a boomerang with a bunch of trees around.
Yeah.
You should check out The Cabin in the Woods. It came out in like 2011 or 12,
I heard of it.
and
I heard
and
about it.
yeah, check it out. It was written by Joss Whedon, but don't worry about that. The movie's actually good.
Oh, Scumbag McGee.
Yeah, well, most scumbag.
Yeah, well, I mean, Hollywood
Check the
gets
movie.
called out.
But yeah, the SCP stuff is a good deep dive. You could even
It
call
is.
it a dope dive.
Oh God. Well,
Oh, he said it.
I guess we know what's going to be a future topic. SCP.
Yeah, it probably is. I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, hold up. Just to be sure, because the concept of an SCP, it's like I've seen that all the time. But is there actually like one big database
Yes.
of like
Yes,
this?
it is
I don't know,
literally
but
a fan maintained database of it. So
Yeah.
there's so many different entries in there to read about.
so it's going like SCP wiki.
Yes,
Hmm,
basically.
Nice. I will look into that.
cool. Okay, so I guess we're gonna call it for now. Um, thanks a lot, everybody, for coming by. I guess I'll wait out.
Actually, here's a question for the fans. What was your favorite remake, sequel, or whatever else we did?
Good question.
Please not be deep Red Sea. Please don't let it be Deep Red Sea.
Wait, the ones that
If
we did?
if yes, yes, the ones that we did. Like it's
Oh
like of the
gosh.
ones that we did. Which was your favorite?
Please don't let it be Deep Red Sea.
If
Oh
it's Deep
God,
Red Sea, I'm gonna laugh.
it's that movie's too dumb. It's too dumb. I made it that way
Your
just to be
okay,
sure it don't.
okay. Yours is actually like half of. Okay, yours is like stupid enough to be on like the Sci-Fi Channel. Mine is literally just a mismatch of whatever of shit I can't even like keep track of.
I like all of
Okay.
them too.
Okay. Yes. Actually, while we're airing out, I got one more quick movie end to end this thing on.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat. Shanti Shung actually does the work instead of Sub Zero. All of Earth Realm is killed before they even reach to the tournament. The end.
I
Yep.
mean, yeah, I guess. See.
Because literally, Sub Zero's Sub Zero's the entire reason why the people had a chance. He let two people get away.
Oh yeah, Sub
No.
Zero is very ineffective as a killer.
Oh no no.
Mega ineffective.
Even better. Oh, even better. You have Cole. You have what's his name? Cole Young. He's fighting. It's like the final fight, and then his suit thing absorbs Sub Zero, and now he's the new Sub Zero. This bland paperweight of a guy is now your Sub Zero.
God, there's gonna be a sequel. So
Emmy,
there really
please.
is gonna be another Sub Zero. There probably is.
So okay.
Well,
So
there
you
has
mean
to be.
he becomes Scorp Zero because he's descended from Scorpion, so he now has fire and ice.
So he's Todoroki.
Sure. But then he'll look like a. But he'll look at the camera and be like, "I don't know, man. My friends always called me a noob." Bum bum
Oh,
bum.
stop it! That's it. I'm rating now. That's it. We're done. We're done.
Oh, well, my real name's Tobias, but they call me a noob.
Oh no, he said it. That's. Ugh.
So we're rating worst gamer ever. She's playing her first playthrough of God of War 2018. Give her
Ooh.
some
Oh
love. I
Oh, God of
follow.
War.
Yeah, God of War.
boy.
Yep. So thank you everybody who came in and participated and listened to us. Fan Wang.
We love
Appreciate
you.
y'all.
Plot
We
twist.
apo- we apologize for the bad ideas that we've brought up. Please feel free to send all complaints to King Crazy.
I
To
won't read them.
to those
Actually,
who watch on YouTube, where this will eventually be posted, thanks for watching. Follow everybody speaks here, I guess, on Twitch and YouTube. Crazy is on YouTube as Crazy Mo or MF, I believe.
I
I'm
don't
Sunny
know anymore. That
Starblast
doesn't
on
count.
YouTube and on Twitch. And
And I don't exist.
Dracon2K doesn't do either of those things, but he's a good friend and he's a good bean. And we're rating out now. Bye, everybody. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.